All right. Hi, everyone. Last week we got 15 views, so thank you for that.
Shout out to Rob Ziozo, who's helping our views, checking in on us from Boston, Massachusetts. One of my least favorite sports cities, but I thank you, Rob, for your support. I hope you enjoy it. And it feels like we're just in your living room talking sports with you. Thank you very much.
That's good. That's what we want. Anyways, thank you for the 15 views. Last week. We're gonna get into a very sad story to start here. I'm gonna make it 2 separate videos. So if you're watching the podcast, you can watch this whole rant that's about to happen in another video. And if you're watching the rant video, go watch the full podcast. Anyways, we'll start with Dad. Go ahead.
The one untouchable amongst all sports is the Philly Phanatic. The only thing, the only man, the only creature from the Galapagos Islands who never lets me down. Amongst all the players in Philadelphia, the teams, the management, there was always one constant. There was one hero. There was one shining light in sometimes abysmal seasons, much like the last decade for the Phillies, and that was the Philly Phanatic. No one could touch it. No one could hurt it. It was always going to be there for you. It was your best friend, and now money has ruined it. Money has officially ruined everything. Everybody's worried about protecting their lot in life instead of the greater good of all of those of us who love the Philly Phanatic. This fine, amazing creature from the rare Galapagos Islands had to undergo a transformation because of money. So his eyes are no longer like that. They're now stars.
I'll outline it for you guys. I'll put up a graphic for all you watching the rant video, and for all the other ones, this is the podcast. This is what you get. His eyes. Go ahead.
They're stars now.
Yeah, they're stars.
And
the blue is like lighter.
Is
it's
like a
lighter
baby
now,
blue.
And it goes all the way around.
It's bad.
His eyes.
The blue around the eyes is really, really bad. The eyelashes.
Yeah.
The tail is too long.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
The snout is different. It's
altered
shorter.
The color of the tail. The snout is shorter, which is ridiculous because the snout is one of the greatest selling points.
He's less fat.
I don't really care about the shoes being
or the socks
because he already.
Or the socks.
No, I do care about the socks
stirrups?
because now listen. I don't care about the shoes because he wears special shoes every now and again, anyways, and he could always just switch back and forth with shoes. The socks of all blue with the red stripe, it looks terrible.
It does.
It doesn't look good. It's not the distinct red and white. They failed on that.
The stirrups are pretty iconic.
The body changes are ridiculous.
They're on all of them.
The
3 of these.
amphibian-like nonsense they added to his arms is just crushing. Overall, I'm just hoping they sort the lawsuit out and they just go back to the regular Phanatic. They would have been better off just not having him out there today because it just doesn't look good. Now I understand that the current Phanatic before this present one didn't look exactly like the one that debuted in 78, but the changes were always for the better, and this is just a nonsense.
It's for the worst. This is for the worst.
Just a disgusting money pull between the Phillies and the creators of the Phanatic.
Harrison Erickson, I hate you.
Well, both of them, that they couldn't figure this out. And here's the other problem.
Care.
This has been a 2-year waste, and you couldn't get it done. So now you're spiting the creators by making the Phanatic look different and screwing all the rest of us. And it's just nonsense because rich people arguing with other rich people. Wonderful. And the rest of us lose.
All right, my turn. Harrison Erickson and the Phillies, both of you, you guys have officially made me lose my marbles. In front of us are 3 generations of the Phanatic. This is my granddad's, this is yours, and this one's mine. You can squeeze its stomach and the tongue pops out. I don't think yours does that.
3 generations of Phanatics.
This is the one from Build a Phanatic that they need to bring back at Citizens Bank Park, by the way, because that's a joke that you don't have it. It was great. Where did it go? Nobody knows.
They sold it out so that there could be more retail and concessions.
Like that wasn't your biggest retailer?
Again, another money pull.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways.
We did sign $1 billion TV deal a couple years ago.
With Comcast. Yeah.
But I guess that's not enough money to sort it out. Great job.
So, like you said.
Great job.
You know what? I am fine with it if you take away the scales. The scales are horrible.
You know what? You paid Bryce Harper $330 million. Why couldn't you pay $30 million or $100 million? I'd rather pay $330 million for the Phanatic.
Do we need to start a GoFundMe?
than Bryce
Do
Harper.
we need to start
I
a
don't care.
GoFundMe?
No offense, Bryce Harper, but the Philly
The
Fanatic
fans will fund
is
it.
more
I think
Philadelphia.
Harper would agree with you.
Oh.
He would. The scales are horrible. The hands are separated. It looks like a wing now. It's not a wing. He's a
I
bird
can only hope
without wing. He's got hands. Hands.
Well,
I hope the Phillies watch
and
this. I emailed them today, and hopefully they forward it to whoever it needs to go to. I don't think Tom Burgoyne or David Raymond, who both played the Philly Fanatic, would approve of this at all. I don't think they approved it.
Disappointing, and I can only hope that when the lawsuit finishes itself, that they go back to the normal, because even the minor changes they made from the Phillies'
scales,
perspective,
oh god,
it's still ridiculous, and it's still the Philly Fanatic, and to any court would basically say, no, you're still using the same likeness, even though you modified 4 or 5 things.
My problem with that, though, is have you looked at the San Diego Chicken lawsuit? It's eerily similar to the Phanatic's lawsuit, where KGB Radio kind of owned him, and the creator he kind of like made his own costume. So as you can see here, this is the current Phanatic with the CE. I'll put the graphic up on the screen. He's got kind of a blue on the top. The original one isn't like that. If I search it up here, I'm looking up original. So when you Google original, like, if I can find it, here, keep talking.
It's
I'll
just
look.
money. People arguing, rich people arguing with other rich people. Isn't that the state of all the world at this point? Rich people arguing with other rich people about how they can be richer.
All right, see, look right here. This is the original San Diego Chicken. He's got kind of red on the top, and his beak's different. You know, and then here's the other one. You wouldn't notice much of the difference. That's what I'm scared of with the Phanatic, is that the court will approve this, which I hope they rule against the Phillies and they make them take away this nightmare that's happened today with the scales.
Pay the luxury tax to get the Phanatic back the way he was.
Yes. Pay
We
it.
don't need other players. Pay the Phanatic.
Honestly,
he could
the
play
season,
third base better than Gene Segura.
Yeah,
like
he was garbage today.
Let's see if we waste a whole nother season, like we wasted a whole season determining that Rhys Hoskins couldn't play left field, like we didn't know that 2 games into spring training.
My God.
We knew that Kingery shouldn't be playing anywhere other than second base. Would you put him there 2 years later? And my goodness, Segura should not be playing third. Looked like a circus clown over there today. And yet we're probably going to go through all of spring training and part of the season with that before they realize, well, it's not going to work.
The scales are horrible. The hands separated from the fur. Oh, his hat looks different now too. His hat looks like it's not like it used to be, like a real hat.
It's just a giant disaster. Really soured the end of the week, beginning of the week.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's depressing.
The article I'm reading right now says, the man behind the mascot's 90-inch waistline, that he's still the same old Phanatic, just with a little more, I don't even know what that word is, sachet?
I don't even know where you are.
Right here.
Oh, sachet.
Not good, man.
What a load of crap.
All right, well,
fix it.
Thanks for watching this rant. We're mad. Phillies, fix it. Harrison Erickson, I hate you. Thanks for ruining your own creation, you idiots.
They're all guilty.
They're all guilty.
They're all guilty of being greedy. I'm not going to assign blame to one or the other. They both suck. And I lose.
We lose. The fans lose. Screw these people. Okay, now on with the rest of the video.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. The Phillies won today. Jay Bruce looked good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he'll get hurt again. Who cares?
They tied 8-8 yesterday. It's spring training. Who cares? Bohm looked good. I'm excited to see him hopefully soon.
Bohm did good. Matone, Moniak all had hits. All volley guys that we just met last year, so that was nice to see.
I'm so discouraged by the Phanatic news that I almost just don't want to talk about the
I'm
Phillies.
so discouraged by Nick Pivetta taking a dump in the start yesterday and people trying to tell me that he did good after he went 1 1/3. Here we roll through the season with Pivetta. Oh, great, he's throwing a changeup this year. Whoop-de-freaking-do. I'm sick of Pivetta. I'm sick of Velasquez.
Okay, strong words.
Arrieta will be hurt by midseason. Pivetta will be hurt. Velasquez, my goodness. We're going at the same with the same. We have nobody in the bullpen, and we added Wheeler, and we're hoping Nola's better again. Oh, we got a new pitching coach. Great. Yeah, we still don't have enough pitching to win. Oh, we'll add only if we're in contention at the All-Star break. What about the other half of the year when the games still count? You can't just play half the season. Such a waste. There's so much money they have, and they just hoard it. They just hoard it. Like, oh my gosh, we can't afford to pay another pitcher. We can't do that. We're only going to go over if we're going to win.
Pay the tax.
You have to go over.
Pay the tax.
You have to pay some people.
Pay the tax.
Jeez.
All right, let's get away from the Phillies.
Waste 3 months.
This week for the Phillies sucked. It sucked.
Yeah. Spring training. Hope springs eternal, except in Philadelphia this year where it doesn't.
They ruined it.
Bring me any optimism.
The Nets are going down the line at Citizens Bank Park.
Screwed up.
That's a whole nother conversation that I'm sure we'll have.
Let's go into the Wings. The Wings lost 15-10 to Saskatchewan, but they're also in first place in their division. We remain in first place in the East Division. So, hey, 18-game regular season. I believe we are now 7-4 as we head. Looking forward to seeing a game. Also in lacrosse news, very interesting. We got a team back. Not the NLL, but the MLL, Major League Lacrosse. The Barrage are back. I believe they started in Connecticut, went to Philadelphia, went somewhere else. Were in Atlanta last year, and now they are back. They won 3 titles in their 5 years, which is more than the Phillies have won in roughly 130 years.
137 to be exact.
137, so they've won more. Outdoor lacrosse is back in Philadelphia. They used to play in Villanova, so I'm not sure where they're going to play now, but
Franklin Field.
Hoping that we might catch a game there this summer, but if not this year, maybe next year. But we will catch a Wings game in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
All right, what do you got next?
Flyers. They're making me happy.
Hey, they beat Columbus twice this week and took down Winnipeg. 6 points. I believe I predicted a 6-point sweep last week. All 15 of you that viewed it could let me know if I did or didn't. But one in overtime, but the other ones...
get on that.
We're trying to go... We got to get on some sort of significant streak. I think we hadn't won 3 in a row for quite some time.
In forever.
And even though we've played very well, we haven't put a substantial streak together in forever. So it'd be nice to pull off like a 7 or 8 game
Drew's
streak.
breaking records.
He is. He's breaking a lot of Flyers records. So. Again, you know, what's crazy is we're in 3rd place. We're only 5 points out of first, but there's like 4 teams within a point or 2 behind us. So, I mean, this playoff race, you have a good week and you're in it. You have a bad week and you're out of it. So that's where the Flyers are. It's going to be a grind all the way to the end. I don't see them pulling away and definitively getting a spot till the last week or 2. But I do think that they will get a spot. Glad that Hart's back. Hey, tomorrow's a trade deadline. Interesting to see if they'll move anybody. Interesting to see. I think they're a player to make a trade. I think they're close enough.
Should be traded.
And we'll see what Fletcher does. But it was a good week, and hopefully they can have another good week.
Hopefully Jeff Carter comes back. I'd love to see that. One of my favorite players from like 2010. That would be awesome if he did come back. Who do you want to go to next?
The Eagles combine is coming up for the draft.
Now the Eagles.
Doug Peterson will be there, who hasn't talked in 6 weeks since he
disappeared off the face
since
of the earth.
Debacle of not hiring an offensive coordinator and then just hiring somebody else and renaming the positions and looking foolish. And that was just a joke. But the good news is hopefully no one got hurt this week for the Eagles because I'm surprised someone didn't step out and get hurt on some ice. Of course, it's been unseasonably warm in Philadelphia.
Could have been the Andrew Bynum bowling incident. So.
That's true. It's a good reference right there.
Sixers,
my gosh. They beat a crappy Nets garbage team. Took them overtime. Embiid had to put a block up. Gets 39 points. You know, Embiid, by the way, stating that he's the greatest player in the NBA after beating the lowly Nets. True. And then we go into Milwaukee and just look like absolute garbage, filth, trash. Simmons gets hurt, and I know that's
Houston Astros quality trash.
And I know that's an excuse, but my gosh, Embiid, if you want to be great, I mean, he shot something like 6 for 19 or something, just terrible. We were 1 of 9 for threes. Once again, Brett Brown has no ability to adjust anything. Al Horford looks like he's never played the game of basketball in his life. We signed him for 4 years. I think it's 3 with an opt-out, but my goodness, we're going to be sucking on that because he's terrible off the bench. Why Al Horford thinks he's some sort of 3-point specialist is beyond me. He's terrible at 3-pointers. He has no business shooting them. He's brought in to go into the post. Embiid is the most efficient player in the post, and yet he sits outside. He looked gassed in the game yesterday. 2 minutes in, he's pulling on his shorts, and he can't breathe. 2 minutes into the game. My God, 4 years later, he still can't get in shape. What will happen faster? Joel Embiid will get in shape, or Ben Simmons will shoot? I say neither.
I say Charles Barkley level at the end of his career stamina.
The Sixers are in 5th place, going nowhere.
I hate everything about
First
the Sixers.
round loss, Brown gets fired.
Well, that's a bold prediction. Who do we have left at this point?
Did we
Union?
talk about...
We didn't talk about the Union.
We talked about the Sixers, the Flyers, the Wings. The Union opened the season this week in Dallas this Saturday. The season starts. We will be there for their home opener in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that.
Go get them, Union.
The thing with the Union, always, can we score goals?
And will Andre Blake stay in the net?
And will Andre Blake stay in the net? Or will he come out
like an idiot? Jim Curtin, you've bought yourself another year.
The Union did a good job about getting points, and we're in first place in the whole conference for a while, and then kind of hung on at the end as they took a dive, finishing third. I don't know that they have the pieces, but my goodness, they've got to score. They just have to score. What'd you say they renamed the park?
Subaru Park.
Subaru Park. What a stupid name.
More money.
What a stupid name. Why can't we name...
I'm so sick of money.
...parks after people who have contributed something instead of people who just have money? Money wins the day again.
How about Wawa Park?
Why don't we name the Union Park Applesauce Stadium, since that's what you gave me last year as a stadium giveaway on the last game of the year? You gave me applesauce.
M&M Pillow Park.
Why don't we just call it Applesauce Stadium instead of Subaru Park?
Remember when they give away the M&M pillows?
Pathetic giveaway. Pathetic. And by the way, I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it because it was probably outdated, and that's why you're giving it away. So don't give me applesauce this year. Waste. Worst stadium giveaway ever. Applesauce. What the hell am I supposed to do with applesauce at the end of the game? You didn't give me a spoon. Am I supposed to slurp it through the container?
It's a Danimals Crush cup.
Ridiculous. It wasn't. It was a normal cup of applesauce. What am I supposed to eat it with?
This is by far the best episode that we've had.
Just stupid. I don't want applesauce at the end of a soccer game.
Did they win the game?
I don't even remember. I'm so disgusted. No, I think they lost the game. But
that's even worse.
But all I remember...
Who wants applesauce after a loss?
I'm almost positive they lost, and all I can remember is the applesauce.
Here's your weekly Philadelphia Soul update. They're still not a team. Cool. Is that
so
it?
Our merchandise for the week. This is my Philly Phanatic. Let's start with my dad's.
Yeah. Here.
Right here. This was given to him in 1983 by my grandmother, and my aunt almost gave one. I know that because I stole it from my dad that very Christmas. Way back when, there's a picture of me as my dad opens it, just grabbing it from him, and I've had it ever since for the last 37 years. It used to have shoes and a hat on it, but they kind of fell off over time. But it still has the old school jersey on it. So I keep him.
Here's a close-up of this one. See the stirrups, the iconic stirrups, the pink, the blue.
Here's my early 90s Phanatic. Much heftier. A great-looking Phanatic. Still has the old school maroon. Hold them up there so they can see.
They got the maroon.
Yep, the shoes were built on then. The original shoes on my dad's were extra, and you could tie them on.
Star on the back.
Yeah.
The old Phillies P. Perfect eyebrows.
So I've had him for a solid 30 plus years.
Here's my Phanatic. I don't know what year I got this.
You got that mid 2000s at Build a Phanatic?
Yes, Build a Phanatic, referenced earlier in the video. There used to be a pretty cool place at Citizens Bank Park that they don't.
Oh, it was awesome, and we actually have the 4-wheeler somewhere. Where's the 4-wheeler? That's super rare. You don't find the 4-wheeler anymore that he rode on. They sold that, all sorts of different costumes. And
I think Shay's has a Super Phanatic on it.
Yeah.
He used to dress up like Super Phanatic.
She has a Philly Phanatic too, my daughter. And different costumes.
Yeah, this one, it's like a Velcro jersey. And when you press its stomach, the tongue pops out.
Yes.
That's the coolest
Did they change the current Phanatic's tongue to white?
I don't know.
When did that happen? Because these are all red. And I don't know why it's white, but it needs to be red. The tongue should be red. And that's all they really needed to switch.
Eyebrows.
That's all they really needed to switch.
Everything. The shoes.
Amazing shoes.
Stirrups. It even has the Build-A-Bear logo.
What will be really interesting is if all the merchandise that they sell now will also be switched.
Yeah,
if the merchandise
my
will
shirt
be changed.
from last year that I paid $80 for is now technically.
No, it's a collector's item now because
Yeah.
it's even better because everyone's gonna
Like, what are they gonna do with the
school
climbing
Phanatic
wall?
stuff. They better keep it the same. I guess we'll find out in June. Anyways, let's see if they can. What else is left to ruin? I mean,
They can take away the wiffle ball field.
no.
That
I mean,
would
taking away the Phanatic is like taking away the Liberty Bell. There's just there's nothing left. I mean,
there's nothing left for me.
Probably would just take it is, and honestly, the Phanatic is more important to me.
The Phanatic is more important than anyone in Philadelphia ever.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been messed with. It's
the
disappointing.
Phanatic is more important than Ben Franklin. Let's be honest.
I will be honest and agree with that statement. So, I don't know. We move on to next week.
Okay, bye. This was a disappointing episode.